others, Daphne's, their children too. And their children forever true.
What it do, y'all? You already know, man. In case you don't, man, let me let y'all know, bro. It's none other than yours truly, Xavier Souls, the best lightning man out here, man. We back at y'all with another one. Would you look at this, bro? He got line mobile. He in here with his boy toy. He gonna do what the fuck he want. Damn, bro. A lot of people are very bold all of a sudden. Who is that can't, you know? I know it was somebody from iCloud and them got mad, you know, and then they message on the lightning versus lightning video. Why are like, so when he smurfed me, right? Hamster, which is one of your boys, when he smurfed me and lost, everything was cool. But when it happens to Dark, right? This guy is hopping pissed. I've never said anything bad about this. What type of stuff are y'all saying? That like wow. But you know what? Fuck it. I don't really care, bro. It is what it is. I'm undefeated, and I slapped up everybody on that crew. The intermediate pokey faggots can stay where they are, bro. You know. But man, and also I'm gonna leave the whole Tifa thing alone, bro. Because I kind of understand, you know, like a lot of people probably don't even remember this. But I know Fagotsu remember this though. You know, there was a post he posted on Twitter one day where he got upset, man, when people were talking about Tifa, looking at her in a derogatory way, or overly sexual. You know, he was. I believe it's been some time, but I believe the post went on about how come we look at characters in this way, and why is it that, you know, that people gotta look at Tifa in this nasty way and all these other things. I'm like, well, I can't answer that, bro. Fan art is what fan art is. You know,
couldn't have gone better.
I can't answer that, but I do sympathize with you. As rare as it is, you know, I believe women in fiction or women in general should never be looked at in such a way. So I don't like her. I don't like her in that way. I never will. You know, that's whoever it is that's doing that. That's why I said, you know what? I'll leave it be. Because I saw how upset he was at that post. You know? And as much as everybody thinks I am not a wicked person. You know, as much as they would love to believe that is indeed canon about me. But it's not. All of the things that I've done to people was nothing but a rebuttal. But enough about me and the revenge story. Let's talk about another revenge story. Let's talk about what I said I was going to talk about. The Last of Us, you know, and Joel, things like that. Now, obviously, there's going to be spoilers. Y'all got like 3 seconds to figure out what you finna do. 2, 1. You better click off because here come the spoilers. Alright. Well, they're probably ain't gonna come right away, but this will be spoilers, and I won't like notify you that spoilers are coming. So it's pretty much. So it's probably gonna be like a character analysis of who Joel is and what and how he's flawed and the ways that they could have changed Joel so he wouldn't be flawed. But I think that would have hurt the story more than it not hurting the story, because then Joel would have been predictable. You know, that's kind of what it would be. So, who is Joel? Why do we care about him?
Couldn't have gone better.
Joel is relatable to a lot of people. Joel is a man that had something taken from him, which, you know, everybody that walks this earth has had something taken from them. Someone, something, whatever it is. This is why he's likable. Because he's a man that never stops fighting. He never quits, you know. He fights because, you know, he saw this girl that should not even be in the position that she's in. You know, just so happened to be the girl that is, you know, Ellie. She just so happens to be the one person in the world that is immune to cordyceps, which is the disease that turns people, you know, it's a real life disease, but it only affects insects. And I think it's a fungi that grows on the brain of insects, and it kind of like protrudes outward and makes them lose what normal consciousness that they have, initially becoming what they see like a walker, a bloater, etc., or whatever version of zombie that we see in that game. So it doesn't affect. They're not reanimated, but that's what cordyceps in that world is. It brings the dead zombies back to life, covered in a fungi that is highly contagious if you breathe in the spores or the fungi or take it into your body. Except for Ellie, for some reason, is immune to this disease. She got bit. The fungi grew all over her brain, but she never transformed. She stayed normal. So there's something in her blood or in her genes that they could use to create a cure. Now Joel kind of already knew the sort of world that he lives in. Joel knows that people, after what what people do to each other, they're not worth a damn. And is he really wrong for thinking this way? He saw people butcher each other. He seen there was a guy that wanted to rape Ellie. You know, there was a guy who, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, people in desperate times show desperate things about themselves. People are very, very desperate in these scenarios. People are very weird when it comes to a lot of things. And we seen in the first, there's a particular scene that I remember. There was a couple running from these guys in a Jeep, and they shot them in cold blood in the middle of the street. And they searched them. They took their shoes, some of their clothing, things like that. It's a very dark world. It's obviously dark because the first scene of the game we see Joel.
Couldn't have gone better.
We see Joel's daughter dying in his arms. You know, in the very first scene, we see this stuff happen to him. So we're ushered into a very cold and melancholy world. We're ushered into a world about as dark. Well, not as dark death-wise like Bloodborne. Like, if you really understand what's going on in Bloodborne, it's quite dark. believe if you really understand what's actually happening from a movie standpoint, it is quite a dark thing. What's actually going on in that world. And but that's that game, you know. Joel, I think if he was a little bit more upfront with Ellie, you know, but Joel is kind of awkward when it comes to Ellie. Not really trying to. He wants, you know. I think she understands where he's coming from. But these sort of things kind of have to be said. These aren't things that, you know. It's kind of like if you have a dense person, you can't catch on that this person likes you, right? They will never know. They will never catch on to it. You kind of have to be straightforward with them. You have to be very straightforward, you know. When they're not straightforward about a lot of things, confusion happens. Things like that. Like, why did Joel lie to her whole life about what happened to her in the hospital? Well, because he understands that she's not old enough to really understand why he did what he did in the hospital. That the world is fucked up. And a little girl should not have to be told that. But then she finds out that the world is quite fucked up.
Couldn't have gone better.
Because she has to watch him get beat to death. And then we have the Ellie that we know that killed everyone but, you know, the person that she needed to kill. You know?
That's how it's done.
Simply because it was changing her and Joel stopped her. It's a dark beautiful story. And I think that The Last of Us is indeed worthy of Game of the Year. Forget those other titles. They're okay titles. Okay. But they're not The Last of Us. You know? I'll probably come up with something with Life is Strange in the next video. But this has been the Savior Souls. Best Lightning Man out here, man. We'll catch y'all again.
The messenger is standing at the gate, ready to let go, ready for the crash at the messenger. Too late for whispers, too late for the blush. The past is mercy when the future's low. Kneeling journey dressed in the cloak of shadows. The hunting's grim for the innocent eyes.